Hey, Dad, I'm here. I'm ready to work.
Yep, right here in the whole bath.
All right. Well, dude,
Hey, boy.
what are you doing in there?
I'm just checking out the central air chase. Pretty nice in here, nice and cool with all this air flowing by me. Hey gang, I'm Polo Sudback. Welcome back to our channel. In our previous video, you guys watched Jordan and I get the big Bosch roto hammer, chip out the floor around that drain in the shower to get it ready for its new drain. That new part will be here any day now, and we can continue working there. But we ended the video in this room, the hall bath, talking about the wallpaper we had to remove. 3 layers, pretty brutal. So that night we read all your comments, and the next morning we went on a shopping spree. We went to the rental yard and got a steamer. We went to the grocery store and bought fabric softener. We went to a home center and bought scrapers and sprayers and a piercing tool for the wallpaper. I actually had one, but it broke, so then we had 2. And I brought Jordan's little brother along. He's a senior in high school. Jordan, for some reason, had plans on wallpaper removal day. I don't know what's going on with that, but...
Yeah, sorry about that, man. It was important.
But Jordan's little brother has plenty of patience. He was my perfect partner on that day.
And I don't.
You
so
don't.
It might have been good.
You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have been out of here.
Yeah.
So my goal on that Saturday was like, I just want to get 1 bathroom done. And I'll come back Sunday and do the smaller one. So Josh and I started right here. We cranked the water heater up, so I had an endless supply of hot water right here at the bathtub for my sprayer. Hot water is always better on wallpaper, right? We threw some fabric softener in there in the sprayer with the hot water. I pierced this whole wall with a piercing tool and I soaked it with fabric softener. The place was smelling pretty good. While that was soaking in, we got our sprayer ready. We filled it with water, plugged it in. It takes a while for that thing to heat up. So we started up here in the corner without the steamer, tried to pull that wallpaper off with just the fabric softener working on it. No go, it wasn't budging. We hit it with the steamer, now we're getting somewhere. So it took about an hour to get from that corner to this corner.
Wow.
Pretty brutal, but I was still like, okay, well, if it takes that long, it takes that long. At least we're still ahead of the game. We don't have to pull down all this drywall. So we were feeling pretty confident, and we kept moving this way towards the window, taking that confidence to the rest of the room. But as you can see, on this wall, it was like a different house. It was not responding the same way. A ton of damage on here, but I was like, maybe I can save that. All this damage at the bottom that you see is from when we pulled the tile off down here. So that's gonna have to be fixed anyway. But the further I went, the worse it got. I have no reason why, and by the time I got right here, I threw in the towel and said, I'm done. We're ripping all the drywall down. It's just not worth the time because it's way too many repairs. So why did that wallpaper stick so well? Honestly, gang, I don't know. We tore down the wallpaper in the foyer. It came down in full sheets because it was painted underneath and the wallpaper was added at a later date. On this house right here in this bathroom, the wallpaper was attached right to the drywall. No paint or anything. Here's a sample of the original red paper and the blue paper they put on top of it. And you can see how much I scored that. Is that showing up?
Oh, yeah.
And we soaked it. I mean, I even soaked this on a Saturday night with the fabric softener. Came back Sunday, nothing.
And I could still smell that on Monday.
Yeah,
so
I
there was
still
a lot.
smell it. I still smell it. Again, very hot water, but nothing seemed to work. So I really didn't want to tear down the drywall, but I kept trying to justify it in my mind, and here's how I did that. Like I said, I got to repair all this anyway. I probably have to make a cut about 1 foot above the floor and put brand new drywall on the bottom of that. I got to cut the back of this wall out for a new shower valve. And if I take the drywall down, now I can put blocking here on both sides for future grab bars for the toilet. So that's perfect. And we can also do the same thing in the master. I didn't even try in the master. I was like totally done, gang.
Well, from what you told me, it took you about a day and a half, the better part of 2 days, just to get not even half of this room done.
Yeah.
So that means that to do this room and the master, it would have taken you probably like a week. And then you have to seal the drywall, come back and repair
All
everything.
repairs, yep.
Man.
It wasn't worth it. We can have this down in less than 2 hours, go buy some new drywall, and we're good to go.
Right.
The other thing it does for us, a lot of you commented on how thin the insulation was in that exterior wall of the master bath. Well, now we can open up this exterior wall, put some really nice insulation in there.
That's true.
So all kind of benefits. Again, just trying to psych myself up. This is worth it, this is worth it. So that's what we're gonna do.
All right.
You ready to get our drywall removal tools, bud?
An unforeseen drywall demolition day. I'm excited to try that M12 hacksaw.
That'll be good. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
So we got all this wallpaper up above the shower. Now we're gonna keep this tile because it's a beautiful tile job. Remember that shower we took out, there wasn't one crack in it. that old mortar bed, that's the way to go.
The wood was good. No,
Yeah.
no leaks.
So we're actually going to leave this tile. It's appropriate for this style of house. But what I don't want to do is make a cut right here and right here and have to patch drywall against this tile. So I'm just going to pop off this metal corner bead, and this wallpaper will come with it. So I won't touch this. We'll put new corner bead on there and that'll be fine. And then right up here, I think I may go up about an inch or an inch and a half, make a horizontal cut, remove that drywall, and then I can easily either remove that 1 inch of wallpaper, or when we tape over it, it'll cover it. So that's my game plan. So we got to remove the casing on the door behind you, the crown, and this guy right here, the sill, or the stool and the apron. And on this wall, we're actually going to leave this and this and this.
This is good enough.
I can save that.
Right.
And that's also going to prevent us from pulling this face frame off, because the face frame is over the drywall. Kind of crazy, but this was built in place after the drywall was up. So I say we go grab our crowbars, trash cans, vacuums, start pulling down all this molding and start ripping out some drywall.
All right.
Check this out, gang. Big shout out to the Finnish carpenters 50 years ago. Look at that mighty return on this apron in this bathroom on probably the simplest profile you could make. They could have done an angled cut there. Good job, guys.
That's how you remove wallpaper, man.
That's it.
I'll save you a couple days.
Guys, we got all the drywall down, and the amount of time it took us to get the wallpaper off of this one wall, Jordan and I got all the drywall down, all the wallpapers attached in the dumpster.
Where it belongs.
Yes, we just have this little strip we have to do right here. We can handle that, and that's there because there's a 2x6 horizontal blocking right here to give support for that wire lath on the mortar bed on the shower.
Right.
And our little idea worked perfectly here. We saved this little edge of drywall, so we can put new corner bead there, and that'll be great.
That M12, that little hacksaw right there, I gotta say, it's coming up on the top 3 favorite tools on the site.
You really liked it, and what I noticed, it's so quiet compared to the buzzsaw.
I didn't have to worry protect.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that. The comments are gonna,
Yeah.
I'll edit. Beep. So, but it was awesome. I every time I got to a stud, I could just glaze over it. And then once you get that hacksaw, it sinks into the drywall. I mean, you're flying.
Yeah. Now, on this cabinet right here, we did learn something about it that's going to help us out in the master bath. That's where we're headed next. We're just going to keep working and get it all done tonight. So let's head to the master bath, and we're going to show you how they built these cabinets and why we can't remove this face frame like we originally planned. So here in the master bath, we have the same kind of cabinet that's in the hall bath. In fact, they are back to back. The way they built this was, it was all framed in with 2x4s. The drywall guys came in, drywalled all inside here. You can see the corner bead right here at the top. Then the cabinet maker came in, put his shelf cleats up, built his shelves, and put this whole face frame over it. I was going to remove that face frame with the doors attached to get a nice clean edge on my drywall, but this is nailed in place. I think the more we fool with this face frame, I think it's going to come apart. So we're simply going to get the buzzsaw, make a plunge cut all the way around the perimeter, pull all the drywall, and we'll bring our new drywall right up to the edge, flat tape it, maybe put a piece of trim right there, and we're good to go in here.
Yeah.
Let's pull this casing down. Same thing, the window stool, the apron.
This bathroom should take half the time.
Yeah, there's so much more room to work in here.
There is.
Yeah, let's do it. Hopefully we get pieces bigger than that.
Yeah.
That's the brutal one. All right.
Oh, this would be great. This one I'm having trouble with because it's going in two different directions.
Yeah. I'm Jordan.
Hi, George.
Hi.
So nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Dad, Paul.
Paul, you're the one that did. Oh, okay.
You remember me? Yeah.
Yes, I do. Y'all, you did a beautiful job over there.
Thank you.
To be said, I've got. I'm gonna probably. You don't see any more wood. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
Can I buy y'all supper?
What's your name?
Can I please give y'all some money to buy you supper for helping
Absolutely
me?
not.
No way.
In fact, if you need anything and you see, so Jordan always parks out here, but I park in the back.
I was going to say, I never see you come and go.
But if the gate's open, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
If you need anything, just holler.
Okay.
Just come back on the
Thank you
door.
so much.
Yeah.
Y'all
We'll keep
are
an
so
eye on
sweet.
this.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Good to meet you.
appreciate it, darling.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we'll keep an
And
eye
if
on
y'all
this.
need anything, I'm home by about 5:30 or so.
Awesome. Thank you.
I leave about 8:45.
Have a good night.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Alrighty, gang, it is actually the next day, and you saw us start to demo this bathroom, the master bath, on the drywall side. We got it all down except for a couple pieces right behind me. We're going to talk about that later. But, you know, we can kind of keep your interest on one bathroom pulling down drywall, but we wouldn't put you through pulling down drywall in two bathrooms. You guys would probably click off and go watch another video. And then you also saw us help out the neighbor. She still had trash left over from Hurricane Ida. The city wouldn't pick it up. She was sorting it. So maybe the city would pick it up if it was sorted. That's what they want here. So we helped her sort it. And then today her grandson was there. I said, hey dude, just put it all in our dumpster, be done with it, clean up your yard. He was super appreciative. And we always try to help our neighbors out when we're doing when we're on a remodel, right? Good vibes for the whole neighborhood. All right, so in this bathroom, check it out. We got this wet wall right here, 2x6 framing with all this plumbing in here. 3-inch cast iron, no lead joints here. They got rubber gaskets. This is our cold water supply to the water heater in the attic. Hot water coming down. Ouch. And check it out. We got some more piping right here in the wall. I wonder what that is. Look at that.
Nice, man.
Some 3/4 inch galvanized. So what that is, that's the closet pole in the master closet. So they just put in there, boom. A little too long, now it fits just fine. So it looks like we got a little pipe to cut and some drywall to fix. And remember we told you we were gonna make a cut around this face frame of this cabinet so we didn't have to deal with it. Because the drywall goes behind the face frame. We didn't want to have to pull this and risk breaking it. But when we got to this wall, we noticed the wallpaper coming off pretty easy. And we think it's just because of years and years and years of this shower in this little bathroom with no exhaust fan. Who opens a window when they shower? Not here. So it's probably very humid and it probably helped to loosen this wallpaper.
Right.
The rest of it was kind of a mess, so glad we took that down. But we are actually going to try to save this wall. And we made a cut here, but we can fix all that. And another benefit of removing all the drywall, especially on this wall behind the toilet, the back of this sheet, it was covered in mold. So I'm glad we got rid of that. We're gonna try to figure out where that water came from. Maybe it was just the corner of this shower. I'm gonna pull this insulation and make sure when that brick gets wet, that moisture's not driving through. Make sure the sheathing is still in place, because we don't want that to happen again. But today's project, we're gonna actually start on this shower drain. I got the new drain from Schluter, came in today, and this is called a Schluter Drain H. H for horizontal. It's a horizontal discharge, and we're gonna put it right here today. So before we start running some pipe and installing this drain, come on down here with me and let me show you kind of our approach and how we figured this out. So there's our H drain, and I just cut a little piece of pipe so I can put my 90 in there. And let's talk about this 90 real quick. When you go to the plumbing section at your home center or hardware store, you're gonna find 3 different 90s. You're gonna see a vent 90, a standard 90, like this, and then a long suite 90. I would never use a vent 90 here, because if this ever clogs, if the P-trap clogs, we're going to talk about that in a second, the roto-rooter guy might have a hard time getting the snake in here. Well, this will be pretty easy, but it may not bend right here too easy. So to make that easier for him, we're going to put this 90. And this 90 is going to let that snake make that turn a lot easier and clear the clog.
And the water.
Right. So let's talk about that P-trap. Now in the previous video, we put the tape measure down there, and it was 18 inches from the top here to the top of the water. That means that P-trap is like 2 feet down, and I know it's in that footing. It's solid concrete. So somebody commented that it would be a good idea to change the P-trap while we're here, and I would agree. But in this case, that would take us a day of chipping. We'd have to chip out this whole corner, that whole footing, and dig way down there. And it's simply not in the budget, and we don't have time for it. We put a garden hose in there full force, and it drained fine. We could see the water coming out of here. So we're really confident that that P-trap is in great shape. So before we start running this drain, how do we know where to put it? Well, I want the flange right here, the top of the flange, to be 3/4 of an inch above the slab, because 3/4 of an inch is the minimum thickness that I want for our mortar bed. The mortar bed is going to be the sloped mortar bed under the tile that directs the water to the drain. So 3/4 of an inch here. So I made up my 90. And we actually did a diagram to show you our math. So let's head over to the wall and show you that diagram and show you how we figured out where we have to cut this pipe so it's perfect. Okay, here's our diagram. Here's our drain. A pretty good resemblance, huh?
Pretty good, man.
Not a bad drawer. So I made this up just temporarily, loose fit, no glue. So this 6 1/4 here, all I did, put that against the drywall, measured 6 1/4 to the bottom of this little piece of pipe. Now that little piece of pipe is what's going to help us connect 2-inch PVC to the 2-inch cast iron in the floor. And we're going to use this no hub coupling right here. It has a rubber innard with a stop here. It's going to slide on only so far, and you put the stainless steel band around it.
And why can't you use a standard PVC connection with glue like we usually do?
Well, we're joining 2 dissimilar materials. We're joining PVC to cast iron, just like this right here. And so the reason this is called a no hub, this is a hub. So when these were invented, you didn't need a hub anymore. I don't need no hub. I just need a no hub, right?
Right.
So that's why it's called a no hub. And we're just going to join this straight to that piece of cast iron right here where I've got it marked CI. And here's my PVC up here. Now here's my slab. And remember that 3/4 of an inch I was talking about? That's this distance right here. The top of my flange is 3/4 of an inch above the slab. So if this is 6 1/4, then I just need to drop 5 1/2 below the slab and make my cut. Once we fit it all up, we'll be perfectly at 3/4 of an inch above the slab. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, let's get our tools, start putting this thing in. It won't take long at all.
All right.
Here.
Where you going?
One battery charge did it.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, look at the thickness in the wall of the pipe. It looks like it was made that way. I mean, I've seen pipe erode on one side,
Yeah.
but that thing was straight up and down.
Huh.
That is strange. All right, we got those snug down with our approved torque wrench. It's not really a torque wrench, but you're supposed to use a torque wrench on those, but I have never seen anybody use a torque wrench. So now we're gonna put this at the intersection of our chalk lines. X marks the spot on the middle. We're gonna measure from the shoulder of this fitting to the shoulder of that fitting, add 1.5 inches to account for the amount of pipe that goes in each hub. We'll glue this thing up, and it'll be time to mix up some concrete. All right, I've got it dry fit, so we're glued here. We're glued here. This one's just a dry fit, no glue yet. So I got my torpedo level out, and I want to get my drain level. Now see that little ridge that's that's molded into the fitting? I'm going to highlight that one. I'm going to make a mark on my pipe. And when I pull it apart, I'll just line up those two marks, and I don't have to worry about the level anymore.
Nice.
All right, one more fitting. Now you do have to be careful with the primer that I don't erase that mark, because it will dissolve it. So I'm just going to bring it back a little bit. All right, I'm excited about this, man.
Yeah. This is like, it feels like the first step to the real remodel.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a big step. Once we get this done, we can put in that shower valve,
Yep.
Put up our curdy, put in our curb, do our pre-slope.
We're ready for tile.
Yep. Now this curdy drain is PVC. It's just gray in color. They do make them in ABS if you're adapting to ABS pipes. But we're adapting to cast iron, so I could have gotten a 2-inch ABS drain or 2-inch PVC. But PVC is king where we are, so that's what they had. I'm gonna hold this for a second. Another second. I don't want it to move. All right, that should be good. There we go. And there's our 3/4 inch difference. So we're gonna build our pre-slope right to the top of that.
Solid.
So why don't we clean up, bud? I bought a 60-pound sack of concrete. We usually buy them big 80s, but we just need a little bit. We'll mix it up pretty runny. Pour it in here, flush to the top of the slab. We'll be ready for the next step.
Man, we've been mixing a lot of concrete lately.
We have. All right, gang, we got our concrete poured. We were a little short. I thought a 60-pound bag would do it. I didn't feel like lifting an 80-pound bag this morning, but I'll get some more. But it's fine. The goal is so that this bowl right here and our Schluter drain is supported underneath. This is like the cornerstone of our shower. And when you're standing in the shower on the drain, it has to be well supported. And as you can see from the shot that Jordan's getting, that concrete is well up under that bowl, and it's going to be perfect. Speaking of perfect, we also got it perfectly level in both directions, this way and this way. Now these little foam blocks, they come with this kit, and these are used in conjunction with Schluter's pre-sloped foam pans, and they work great for us and our application with some little pieces of cardboard under them, just to help us get this thing shimmed perfectly flat and level while that concrete sets up. All right, we're gonna let that dry. I'll probably get some more concrete and just top this off, so that my pre-slope dry pack is really not that thick right here. It would probably be fine, but I think I'll just fill it with concrete. I'm gonna actually have another little project outside I need some concrete for.
That's true.
So that's gonna be fine. All right, gang, that's gonna be a wrap on this video. We went from fabric softener in the hall bath to cast iron and concrete in the master bath. We did a lot, and if you learned something, let us know in the comments below what you learned, and leave us your own tips and tricks so we can learn from you. Thank you so much for helping us get to 125,000 subscribers. We mean that from the bottom of our heart. All our thanks from right here. And our next goal, 250,000. So please help us get there by hitting that subscribe button. And I think you got to hit that like button for us too. Get yourself a no-hub coupling that fits your wrist. Smash that like button so you can't let go. Smash it for us, that helps also. And we will see you on our next video.